everybody. Good Saturday morning. Happy 4th of July. It's the 250th birthday for America today. So, we have some really good plans and celebrations later on today, mainly this evening and to tonight. Let me go ahead and block out my face because I am on a travel location today. So, the background's a little bit different. So, I don't want my face to be the main story because I'm not the main story. It's the forecast, right? Let's look at what's going on the radar right now, sponsored by TAMCO Live Doppler Radar. You can see it is awfully quiet here in southeast Texas, but if you look over there towards the east, we actually can see some showers and some thunderstorms moving into the New Iberia area. I think the coverage of rain today will be slightly higher over there towards Louisiana versus southeast Texas. We're going with 10 to 20% coverage for southeast Texas and up to 30% coverage over there in Louisiana. You can see good moisture going into the state of Louisiana and then parts of really the deep south. You can see kind of that general flow moving in there, but overall, somewhat dry over here in southeast Texas, but a little bit more activity over there in parts of Louisiana. You can see that on the satellite and radar. It is not dry across the state of Texas, Louisiana. You can see less of that brown and gold here and a little bit more of that white and gray, and that is just moisture not only on the low levels, but also on the mid to upper levels. So we'll see some rain chances today, and we'll actually start seeing those rain chances pick up once we get into Sunday and Monday, but I don't think any of this is going to disrupt our 4th of July plans that we have later on this evening. Current temperatures, it is pretty much warm all across the board. We're into the middle to upper 70s, and really we're already getting to that 80-degree mark. Very humid this morning, just all the rain that we've kind of had the last couple of days and high pressure off towards the northeast. It is very warm and very humid, but it is July, so that's what we have this time of year. Thanks to our sponsor of Silsby Ford. Get you one. We are off to pretty much a warm start, already getting several areas almost into the 80s already this morning. This brings us to our construction and forecast, sponsored by Modern Concrete Material. I don't think today is going to be a big rain day at all, like we've seen maybe a little bit on Wednesday and Thursday. Today is going to be very similar to what we saw yesterday on Friday. We're going to have a round of possibly 20 to maybe getting up to 30% coverage later on this afternoon. We've got the moisture, we have the heat of the day, so we can still see some isolated showers and an isolated storm. And, storms this time of year, they can generate lots of lightning and some heavy downpours, so we definitely will keep an eye on that. But other than that, I think this is going to be a pretty hot day. Better rain chances over there towards southwest Louisiana. I don't think this is going to mess up our construction plans that we have for today, and it's not going to mess up our evening plans. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Tropical development, none of that is expected the next 3 days, the next 5 days, even especially the next 7 to 10 days. Dry air and wind shear just keeps the tropics pretty quiet, if not boring, the next 7 to 10 days. And that's exactly what we want to hear as we are getting closer to the peak of hurricane season, more so into August and September. Here we are into early July, so it's good seeing no tropical development. This hurricane season seems like it's going to be a slow one, and it continues to be pretty slow so far. It's exactly what we want to hear. Looking at the Futurecast today and the rest of the weekend getting into early next week. This is sponsored by Switch Electric. We've been talking about the area of high pressure. It's been controlling our weather, been off towards the northeast. We actually will see that area of high pressure weaken, and then we actually see another area of high pressure off towards the west. But right now, all this does is we actually have a series of upper level disturbances that will move through our region late Sunday, then again on Monday, and then another round on Tuesday. And all this map is really just kind of showing us that there is no ridge parked right over Texas or Louisiana. It's either on the west of us or we have a little bit on the east of us. So in other words, the door is open for some rain chances. Not too high today, just 10 to 20% coverage this morning. We get up to 20 to possibly up to 30% coverage this afternoon. And then we do jump up a little bit more as we get into Sunday, Monday, and still hanging around on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, middle to end of the week, it looks like we'll definitely start drying out as that coverage of rain gets a lot more isolated. I think our best chance of rain is going to be late Sunday afternoon, especially on Monday into Tuesday, as we have those series of upper level disturbances. Futurecast today sponsored by TAMCO. It's majority going to be hot and very humid, so definitely stay hydrated, especially with all the plans. I know people are going to be out drinking some adult beverages. If you can, every 2 beverages, try to drink you at least a bottle of water because it is going to be hot. That'll be my parent advice for today. But if you can find some showers and some thunderstorms, a lot better coverage over there towards parts of Louisiana, especially towards the coast, from Cameron Parish all the way to New Iberia. But here in Southeast Texas, we can still get up to possibly 20 to 30% coverage. It just looks like the coverage is going to be a little bit higher over there towards southwest Louisiana and portions of Louisiana getting into over there Lafayette, New Iberia. But still, Lake Charles, Grand Lake, Cameron Parish, we could still see some pretty decent storms later on this afternoon into the evening, and again over there towards Houston and Sugar Land. But once we get through that heat of the day, here we are by this evening into tonight. It looks clear skies. Good time to celebrate 4th of July. Here we are with our forecasts. If we have the chance of rain, should be during the daytime hours. Once we lose the sun in the daytime heating, should be a mostly clear night. We got a little bit of clouds, but mainly you're just going to see some fireworks popping. We're not going to see Mother Nature bringing us any lightning, any of that nature. This afternoon, again, it's going to be hot and humid. Several areas getting into the low to mid 90s, and you're going to see a lot of areas the further north that you get, like Tomball, Houston, and Huntsville. They can even get into the upper 90s down there towards the coast. A lot of people are going to be there at Galveston and over there in Bolivar Peninsula celebrating 4th of July. It's going to get into the upper 80s to near 90. 10% coverage towards Houston, 20% coverage for southeast Texas like Beaumont, Jasper, and down towards Port Arthur, and then a little bit better coverage towards southwest Louisiana and Louisiana. And then overnight tonight, again, looks really good for 4th of July celebrations. Just remember, it is going to be warm and humid. Definitely try to stay hydrated. I know we're going to have a lot of people staying up till around midnight, even after that, so definitely try to stay hydrated. It is still going to be warm and humid overnight tonight, sponsored by Silsby Ford. Get you on. And then our 7-day forecast for southeast Texas, not too bad today to celebrate 4th of July, but once we get into Sunday afternoon, we'll start seeing a little bit more chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then we continue that potential Monday and Tuesday. This is not going to be all-day rain. It's just more so it's the heat of the day during the daytime hours. We see that coverage with these upper-level disturbances kind of pushing through the area Sunday, Monday, and again on Tuesday. And then once we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we start drying out. And then here we are for southwest Louisiana. Happy 4th of July, everybody. 20 to 30% coverage, a little bit better coverage today towards southwest Louisiana, maybe even getting close to 40%. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But we've got these series of disturbances coming through late Sunday afternoon and another couple coming through on Monday and Tuesday that just keeps the rain chances alive. But once we get into the middle to end of the week, we start drying out, highs into the low. Maybe some areas even get into the mid-90s for southwest Louisiana. But look at those overnight lows into the middle 70s for several areas, staying into the upper 70s. Good time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It is 4th of July. And again, I am traveling. I'm currently in College Station, so a little bit different setup and background. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Saturday morning show. Y'all have a special 4th of July. Please stay safe, stay hydrated, and thank y'all again for tuning in to the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions show. Let me see if I can find my little out scene. There we are. Y'all have a good Saturday, and thank you once again for tuning in. I will see y'all video-wise on Monday morning for the Monday morning show, but we will still continue to post updates on Facebook, YouTube, and on that free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. So once again, y'all have a good Saturday. Happy 4th of July. Stay cool, stay safe. Have a good one.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by. Thank you for making Gulf Coast Weather Solutions one of your go-to sources for weather around the clock. From heavy downpours and severe storms to winter weather and the tropics, we've got you covered with accurate, reliable forecasts you can trust.
Next week is starting to look a little bit more stormy.
But look what's moving into the state of Texas.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions.